I'm just making a mount for the Starlink. This is the Starlink mount that we got sent to us in Palermo. So it's designed to go on a flat surface and hold the dish flat. What I can do is I can take these feet off, and then this top part of the bracket, which holds the Starlink dish, I can screw, got a bit of aluminium I cut out yesterday, onto this aluminium plate. The aluminium plate will go on down here, or a bit further over actually, on the other side of the canvas, so on the top side. And we're using a U bracket under here that will clamp that plate. So it sits about like this. It should go right up beside the solar panel, which means that if I need any further support, I can support the side of the dish with some brackets on the solar panel. What those brackets would look like, I'm not quite sure at the moment, but that's a problem to fix if we've got a problem. Theoretically, this bracket should just hold the dish. The cable is the next thing. So the cable, I'm going to drill a hole here. So the cable will run into this bit of tube and down the leg. And in the bottom of this plate is already a hole. So from the inside I need to drill up into that bottom of that plate. So I've got a hole, probably only about 10 mm in diameter, just enough to pull the cable through. So yes, I have to cut the connector off the end and then fix the cable. I've got far too much cable for what I need, so it should be okay. I've been going to the University of YouTube, and and I've worked a lot with twisted pair cable. In fact, I'm so bloody old that I started my career in IT just as twisted pair cables became the thing. And in Wellington, we put in one of the first ever twisted pair systems into the Wellington City Council buildings. There you go. Bit of history. Where we started the first internet service provider in New Zealand at the Wellington City Council. Certainly couldn't get YouTube over it. I've taken the legs off the bracket and screwed it now onto the plate. So let's put it back up so I can show you. So it's going to sit something like that. So it's designed so it's just exactly the right distance off the solar panel and just forward of that tube that's holding the GPS unit on the back. This is the green line I'm going to pull through, and I have a reasonably strong small magnet and a rivet. Once you get it around the corner, gravity will take care of most of it, but it's always good to have something to just pull it down as well. Not sure if you can hear that, it's just scraping along the inside, and obviously you can feel the magnet sticking. Really is quite hard to show you how difficult it is to get in the back here, but I have to curl my legs up, and I just managed to get my head past the edge of the hatch, and then I just managed to get my head past the quadrant on the rudder to get into this corner. This is when you wish you had a bigger boat with a little bit bigger crawl spaces. The mousing line is in, so we're ready to go. Well, yeah, I mean, I've got to take the Starlink offline, so I really just got to plan around a day to have that offline. So yeah, so a productive day. Now time for a swim. Maybe.
We need crew. We need staff. I don't want anyone else. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel very small here.
So the idea today is mount this end, mount the other end, and run the cable external. And if I have enough time, then I'll cut the cable and run it through the internal path. But as soon as I cut that cable, that's it. No videos or anything until I get that cable fixed again. So there's the holes in the canvas. So the bracket will go here, and the cable's going to come through this hole and then into this one here. Okay, so it's all up. So we might just use it for the next hour or so, and just make sure we're happy with the mount. I'll check for obstructions, which hopefully we should see less of now, because where we were before, we were always seeing the boom. So it should be pretty good. So the Starlink has mounted the unit Wi-Fi router. It's mounted in the wardrobe there, and so we're ready to run the cable. So I need to cut it. They're not as bad as they used to be. It's got like an RJ45 unit on the end of the cable, and ideally I would crimp on a shielded RJ45 connector, but I don't have one, so I'm going to have to cut the cable and then join it back together. And I've seen a number of other people do that, and it seems to be okay. So if it's not okay, then we won't have any videos any longer, well, until I sort it out and fix it. But I'm sure it'll be okay. No, it's just kidding. It's not how it works. No, it does. I meant to cut the cable, but you know, it doesn't interfere with our videos. So anyway, let's run the cable. So I've just got half hitches around the cable. Main thing is I don't have something sticking out that's going to catch and turn sideways. I attach another line to the end of my mousing line so that once I've pulled the cable through, I can use that to pull my original mousing line back. So I'll always leave a mousing line on the run. Okay, just hold there for a tick. So this is another mousing line here that runs in a conduit. It goes down the side of the boat to the nav station. So it's just in there. So now I've got to get end of my cable going down there. Okay, let me pull back from this end, honey. Yeah, let me pull back from this end, see if it's... Okay, pull again. Can you... I'll pull back here. Can you get me some lube, please? Have some special lube from this in my toolbox. Okay, it's not from the toolbox. Okay, do you want to try it? Do you want to try? Jude's just untying the other end, but she's finding it a bit slippery. Comes out of the conduit, comes down through here and into the bottom of the wardrobe. Now we just need to connect it back together again. So we just connect it back together, solder the wires, heat shrink them to insulate them, try and wrap the cable up as best as possible again, and then we'll test it. So this is just really just a bit of twisted pair Ethernet. Obviously they run power over it and data. This is where I started my career many years ago. When I started, Ethernet was a big fat cable, and then they had the thin Ethernet, and then I don't know, maybe about just as I was leaving university, we started to put twisted pair in, and I put twisted pair in at Wellington City Council, which I think was probably the first big building in New Zealand that had twisted pair cabling, like a structured cabling system. We sort of made up the standard ourselves, but we were lucky enough that it, well, before we went to put it in, IEEE came out with a standard for twisted pair cable Ethernet. So yeah, that's why I started, was making up statistical multiplexer cables and terminating a lot of twisted pair cable and structured cable systems. So it brings back a lot of memories. So the way these work, each pair has what you would call a primary colour, blue, and a secondary colour, and then it has its primary woven into it, so it's white with a blue stripe. In the structure there's 5 cables, 5 primaries, so we have 4, so blue, orange, green, brown. But there is a 5th, I'm not quite sure what the 5th one is. And then you mix them with 5 secondaries, so effectively you get 25 pairs. And then if you want a cable with more pairs, let's say, I don't know, like 100, then you have 4 bundles of 25, and each bundle has a bit coloured tape around it. So the first 25 will have a blue tape, and the second 25 I think has the orange tape, etc. So you know from one end of the cable to the other each individual wire. Insulation for these. If you haven't got any wire strippers like these, get them. They're very good. Now we get back together. Solder them together, and now we just push the heat shrink over the joint and heat shrink that up, just checking you've got all the pairs right as you do it. And of course you've got to have your ground wire done as well. That's for your shield. Put a loop here, which I will cable tie. So if we have any stretch on the cable, when you pull on the cable, it's not pulling on that joint. That's looking promising. Okay, that's good. Looks like the network is up, the wireless network. Booting up, online. Sorry to be whispering like it's a secret that Jude's asleep inside. So that's it, it's working. So Starlink is mounted, Starlink Wi-Fi is mounted, cables run. Only things to do now is that there's no power in that wardrobe, so the power cord actually leads out and then back into a socket outside. So there's power just beside the wardrobe, so I'm going to have to extend a socket to inside the wardrobe. What else? Oh, when I get to Spain probably, I will get a shielded Ethernet connector and open that back up again, cut the cable and put on a connector properly, rather than leave that joint that's there at the moment. And that's it. So really happy not to have the Starlink sitting on the top of our coach roof any longer, and you know, taking up that space, but also because it was always on a bit of an angle, every now and again we'd orientate ourselves and it wouldn't quite be right. Where now it's flat, it should be pretty much good at any angle, because these Gen 3 dishes can compensate electronically for where the satellites are. So happy, whole plan's come together.
I might add a little bit of something, a little bit onto this to help it. I've done that too close. How is it?
Right?
How is it?
Wonderful.
Well, get us better signal, do you think?
Sorry?
We get better signal, do you think?
Yeah.
We
won't ever be in one of those situations where, you know, it's tilted like this and we should be pointing the other way.
Yeah, and the boom light showed it.
And the boom light showed it. I had a look on the obstruction map and it was actually showing little, like, no solid things. If anything, it was showing something out to the west, which was really bizarre. It was like, there's nothing out there other than sky.
Check where the west is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little bit chilly.
Hey, Jude! What you see there?
Hey! He said hey. He said hey too. From New Zealand.
He said he's from New Zealand.
He said hey Jude. That's why I turned around. And he said from New Zealand. I have this little strip of webbing with Velcro that holds the swim platform. When you collapse the swim platform, this holds it tight. Now, when we got the boat, it was just Velcro. It kind of doubled back and attached onto itself, and it was looking a bit thin and getting a bit dodgy at the edges. So I got some webbing, and I put Velcro at each end of it, which is fine. It works a lot better, much more sturdy. But what I didn't do is allow enough space at the end to catch it with your fingers. So you got to kind of fumble and scratch to check where the end is, and then pull on it. It's hard to get a grip. So I'm just going to add a little bit of webbing. I'll see, maybe, hopefully I've got something in another colour to extend the thing. I need something that, I think it's 2 centimetres. A little stash of spares. I think that's from someone else's sail bag. I want white so that we can see it easily. Even better, when I swept the floor this morning, I found this because I had all my sewing stuff out. So it's pulled it out, and it's thicker and clean and make a perfect little pull tag. You know, I've been really pleased with this sewing machine. It's not a machine that is made for boat work. You can't get them. They're expensive and heavy. This is just a normal domestic machine. It's called heavy duty. So it's better than your normal, like stronger than your normal dressmaking ones. But it's made more for indoor upholstery or, you know, little home jobs or denim, that kind of thing. That's going through 3 layers of thick webbing. It's pretty thick webbing, you can see, and 1 layer of Velcro. 4, and it sews it fine. That's all I wanted, a little tip in the end. All of about a 20-second job. You hear someone learning to water ski out there. Look at that. So the rough Velcro is between here and here, and the soft Velcro, I don't know which one you call it, the loop or the hook, I don't know. The softer one is here to here, and I've got a nice little tab on the end. Ta-da! Job well done. 3-minute job, 5-minute job. You'll make it much better. I'm packing up my sewing because tomorrow morning we're going to La Maddalena archipelago, which is going to be beautiful, and I don't think I'll be doing any sewing this week. We've bought a weekly pass. Tomorrow's Monday, so we'll head off early. So all my sewing gets packed away.